All right, Lions fans are still crying. It's been almost a week after the Chiefs just beat down the Detroit Lions, both mentally and physically, on Sunday night. And the Lions and their fans are still complaining, whether it be about the Jared Goff call, where he didn't set in motion, and Dan Campbell said, well, we got a call from New York. It was in New York. They got the call right, you idiots. They got the call right. And then, what was hilarious was NFL Films put out a video narrated by Louis Riddick from ESPN. They put out a video where Louis Riddick just pretty much broke down all of Brian Branch's issues during that game, whether he was getting beat in the secondary, whether he was upset because Juju Smith-Schuster blocked him in the back, and also the Mahomes taunting penalty. Now, there's been issues because people... The Detroit media is complaining. There was some guy on Detroit radio wanting Patrick Mahomes to get all these penalties for taunting, and he did no such thing. It wasn't even... That's the softest thing I've ever heard. If you're wanting that penalty, it's the Detroit Lions and their fan bases are just being so soft with this. And I like their team. I did until they just became such whiny little babies after this game. But Louis Riddick posted this video, and it's just hilarious because it's just saying Brian Branch complained about being bullying, and it shows him getting beat. It shows him getting pretty much getting ran over by Mahomes after he was in the end zone, just having a really bad game. And that all culminated with him walking up to Juju Smith-Schuster and slapping him in the face like an idiot after the game. And then the Lions fans just went after NFL Films. Like, it was like and they're thinking this is like the JFK conspiracy. It's incredible. It's the level of coping from this fan base, and even from the team, because they're still talking about it. The St. Brown still was talking about it after that. The level of coping from the Lions organization and from their fans makes me realize that they're not ready. They're not ready for prime time. They're not ready to win. They're not ready. Yeah, they can't handle it. They're not mature enough. Y'all aren't mature enough. So, yeah, good luck against the Bucs this week. And again, I like the Lions, okay? I like Jared Goff. I like Dan Campbell. But, man, what a bunch of babies. What a bunch of babies. Okay, so the Chiefs are playing the Raiders this week. And once again, they're going to be without Josh Simmons. And what a weird situation that is. And then you have... what I also don't like is people in the media... some of the local Kansas City radio hosts are saying, well, we don't need to know. And if you feel like you need to know, then, you're a jerk. It's weird. It's odd. And it's odd that there's no transparency. Well, Josh, they don't owe us anything. Well, I guess they kind of owe some transparency. I get it that it's a personal matter, and it's a private matter, like that they want it to be as private as possible. But there does seem to be a lack of transparency of what's going on here, especially without because we don't know. So all we're left to do is speculate on why he's absent. They said it was a family matter, but family matters usually don't really last this long, do they? And so we're all left to speculate because they haven't really disclosed anything to us. And I know that people are wanting everybody to be respectful of Josh Simmons and his privacy, but there's paying customers out there. There's fan bases out there. There's an organization out there. He gets paid, and I hope that they have a grasp of what's going on. and understand, and maybe they need to know, because I do think that the organization needs to really know what's going on, and I hope they do. But also, just does the fan base need to know? Does the paying customers need to know? I'm wrestling with this right now because I can go both ways. I understand that listen, it's private. I respect its privacy, and good luck with everything. I'm hoping that all resolves itself. But also, the paying customers need to know what's going on, because essentially that's how the NFL generates their money. I actually tend to believe there's somewhere in the middle there. There's somewhere, like, I would like a little bit more transparency, a little bit more, so there's not a whole lot of speculation. Again, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. What I do know though is that it's very concerning. And it seems like it's a lot more serious than initially thought, and especially when he was on the injury report right before the Jacksonville game on Monday night with health-related issues that seem to be related to why he's taken off. So I don't know, but I do know that Jalen Moore has played really well against the Lions. And he blocked Aiden Hutchinson, which is Aiden Hutchinson's one of the best defensive players in the league, and the Lions fans are probably going to cry, well, he was held, because they're the crying Lions. But I think that the situation with the left tackle, I'm just glad that Veach kind of invested in a backup there, or had a plan going in that, hey, Jalen Moore is going to be a starter, but Josh Simmons fell to them in the draft, and so all of a sudden now we got two legit tackles that they can play, which is two more than they had last year. So that's good as far as a team performance standpoint. On a personal standpoint, I'm hoping that everything resolves itself with Josh Simmons, because you don't want to see somebody go through something so serious so young, and he also has so much potential. So hopefully that resolves itself. It's just weird how the team is kind of handling it. Andy Reid said, we'll leave that up to Veach in the press conference. Veach is handling that, which means the general manager is handling that, which is very weird, because usually the general manager doesn't really handle stuff like that on that level. So that means it's a little bit, to me, it's a little bit more serious than just family issues. And I'll leave it at that. But I think the Chiefs are getting RASHEE Rice back, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that they're playing the Raiders at a noon game this week. I think they're going to have a blast. But knowing this team, though, like I do the last 2 years, this is the game where it's going to be a one-score game and the Chiefs are going to win. They're just to troll us. Just to troll us. So, but I do think the Chiefs will beat the Raiders this week, because I'm so looking forward to RASHEE Rice coming back. I'm looking forward to hearing anything about Josh Simmons, and I'm looking forward to seeing the crying Lions fans cry more about conspiracies in the NFL against the Chiefs, or for the Chiefs against the Lions. God, what a week. What a fun week to be a Chiefs fan. What a bizarre week to be a Chiefs fan. Lions fans,